Hey everyone, Craig with StuffedCatsWant.com, and today we are going to take a look at the KitNipBox. The KitNipBox is a subscription box for cats, and basically what that means is once a month you're going to get a delivery of a bunch of cool stuff for your cat. These little cards are just a couple of the cards I got that sort of describe everything that comes in a typical KitNipBox. So here's a couple quick photos of some of them. And so each of these cards actually describes on the back exactly what is in those boxes. So what can you kind of expect in your typical box? Well, you can expect lots of plush toys that have catnip in them to keep your kitties engaged and kick them around and beat them all over the house. You can expect lots of different crinkle toys with crinkle paper in them. In this particular case, you see a wide variety of different ones. You can expect wand toys to come rolling through as well. And of course, you can also even expect treats. In this case, the most common version I got was Kittles over the several months I've had mine turned on. So, all in all, the KitNipBox basically comes with about 5 items on average per month. And usually the ballpark value of each of the boxes is somewhere in the area of $25. So if you take a look at this little card that comes with it, it's going to go ahead and actually reference how much the value of each of those items are. And then basically you can kind of course, add it up and determine the overall cost or the value of your box. So all in all, I would say that, the most successful pieces of the KitNipBox for me have definitely been around the crinkle toys. The crinkle toys are definitely something Lexi absolutely loves. This one in particular, you can see she's sort of torn to shreds, and I actually have a separate review video just of this particular bit. But she also loves to beat these things all over, in particular the Police badge and this little pencil. She loves to beat them all over the house. And both of the cats absolutely love treats. The problem is both of my cats are already a little bit overweight, so I use a SureFeed microchip feeder to limit how much they eat. So I quickly became very overwhelmed with the number of treats that rolled through. In that particular case, one of the beautiful things about the KitNipBox is that you're able to go ahead and actually turn off the treats. So you just check a box, dietary, and no longer will you receive any treats. Instead, you're going to get another item in your box. It might be another crinkle toy, it might be another little catnip-based toy, or it might be something totally different. So every month you can basically expect about 5 items, like I mentioned. Now, there are other options out there as well. So for example, you can, of course, if you have multiple cats, upgrade, right? You can upgrade to the multi-cat household, which is going to give you a couple of additional items per month to go ahead and accommodate having multiple cats. Now, I'll freely admit that given the number of toys that have rolled through, right, 4+ toys a month, I very quickly had a large amount of toys available to me and to my cats. And it's very easy to go ahead and rotate those toys in and out, put some of them away, take some of them out on a pretty consistent basis, and maintain all of the novelty. On top of that, one of the other things I did, especially with the catnip-based toys, is none of them so far that I've received have the, for example, like unzippable or openable pouch in them, but you can just give them a quick spray with catnip spray, or you can actually go ahead and I actually keep a jar around about yay big, just with a little bit of catnip in it, and you can actually drop the toy right in the jar, shake it up, and leave it there overnight to go ahead and get some re-engagement there. So all in all, I would say that the KitNipBox is a great way to very quickly get a good chunk and a good variety of different toys in your house, as well as, of course, different treats if your cats love treats, or if you're training your cat to, do a trick or something like that and you need lots of treats around. Great way, of course, to also have a wide variety and a great source of treats. At the same time, after about 6 months, I'll freely admit that I started taking some of the less used toys and donating them to my local shelter because Lexi and Beast simply didn't play with some of them and they were just kind of sitting around. Now, this is no knock against the KitNipBox because I've bought plenty of toys ever before I had a KitNipBox and ran into the exact same problem, right? You go out, you spend $20, $25 on some amazing toy that looks like your cats are gonna love it, and instead all they really want to do is sit inside the box. So in general, I would say that you're going to get a very good variety to test with your cats. That's one of the beautiful things about the KitNipBox. And then basically, if you have any you don't like or your cats simply don't like, you can go ahead and donate them and wait for the next box to go ahead and come through. So it's a really nice way to take take the need for yourself to constantly go out to the pet store or surf online and find things that you think your cats might like, and at the same time it is a really good value for the money. On average, you don't really find many toys at any pet store that are worth less than $4 or $5, and in this case you're getting 4 plus some treats every month. Average value, I would ballpark pretty much every month, comes out to be about $24 to $27, and based on the subscription on the KitNip website for the Happy Cat box or the single cat box, you're only paying about $19.99 a month, and then if you go ahead and bump it up to the multi-cat, it's $29.99 a month. So great value. I've been super happy with it. I would say I would go ahead and give it 8 paws and 1 tail up out of 10. So 10 normally, the stuffed cats want rating systems. 8 paws, 2 tails up for the best things out there. So the only things I would say that I would appreciate personally seeing from an improvement standpoint is I would love to see an ability to go ahead and spread the subscription out to every other month, especially as I've started to stack up more and more crinkle toys. At some point I'm going to go ahead and just actually have to turn the subscription off because I no longer need more toys. I've already got an entire basket full and new ones keep rolling in. So every other month would be a great option, I feel. On top of that, one of the other things I've noticed is this little mitten is probably the smallest toy that I've so far received from my KitNipBox. And in general, my cat Beast, she doesn't particularly like to play with toys that are too big. So like this one, this little donut, this little piece of airmail, all of these rarely really get too much action. Even this little piece of pizza, they don't get too much action with Beast. She doesn't play with them. She tends to go for things that are about 1/3 the size, like those tiny little fluff balls. So one other thing I would love to see KitNip do is, drop in some smaller toys or some groups of smaller toys, something like milk jug tops or something similar, tiny little fluff balls, a group of them, maybe a group of baby mice, something like that. Those would help round out my set of toys specifically for my other cat. So these two are definitely Lexi's favorite toys of everything that's rolled through recently, as well as this Wildcats pennant, as I mentioned. So we're going to watch a little bit of footage. There's some sped up footage here of Lexi playing with each of these just to kind of give you an idea of how, for the most part, they get used, as well as to just prove that truly a lot of these toys do get used on a consistent basis, and I think your cats are going to love them too. So let's take a quick look. As you can see, Lexi here is loving the pencil that came in her KitNipBox. So she's had this now for a couple of months, and she's still on a pretty consistent basis just grabs it and goes absolutely nuts with it, chasing it around the house or playing with it here on the couch. I do love the KitNipBox. It's an excellent investment, and really you're going to get your money's worth. And so far, I've had absolutely zero problems with the overall engagement with KitNipBox, as well as flipping the subscription off, which is an option. You can cancel it and then turn it right back on instead of just using an every other month option that's there. So I think if you go for it, you're going to love it. It's definitely going to turn out on the positive. And of course, you can always take a look at the unboxings that I do for each of these to keep an eye on the other types of KitNipBoxes and toys that do go ahead and roll through on a month-to-month basis. So hopefully you found this helpful. If you did, please do go ahead and click subscribe, click like down there. It really helps me keep making more videos. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your week.